What's up, guys? I guess I am live. Am I live? Can you guys see me? Let's check it. Let's check it. Hold on. Wait for everybody to come in. I've never done this before. Trying to do this the right way so I don't look like a dummy. I know you can't see me. I don't know. You might be able to see me. Um, let's see. Let's see. We're gonna wait for more people to come in. I'm gonna give it about 5 more minutes, and then we'll get into this awesome conspiracy. My favorite conspiracy. You probably heard of it. So let's go. Yeah, live. Here we go. Going live. 20 watching. Okay. We'll wait a little longer. Hello, everyone. I wish I could see what you guys are saying. How many of you watching? How many are watching? 29. Let's just start here and see how it goes, okay? Okay, so Inquisitor, have you guys ever heard of this? CERN LHC opened up interdimensional Stargate portal in the Gulf of Aden. Mysterious alien UFO spacecraft came through it, according to conspiracy theorists. So, July 26, 2016. Absolutely crazy, right? So, right here, he says a bizarre conspiracy theory that emerged online a few years back continues to gain traction. It was the subject of a discussion on a number of conspiracy theory forums this week. The perplexing theory described by some enthusiasts as the greatest conspiracy theory of all time claims that a magnetic anomaly opened up an interdimensional Stargate portal in the Gulf of Aden, one of the busiest waterways in the world between Yemen and the Arabian Peninsula and Somalia in the Horn of Africa. Soon after the alleged Stargate portal opened up, a mysterious alien UFO spacecraft came through it, according to conspiracy theorists. The concept of a Stargate portal is derived from science fiction. The device provides a means of traveling between points in space in an instant. Conspiracy theorists fear that a Stargate portal that opens up inside or near Earth could expose human civilization to invasion and takeover by evil space aliens or demons from another dimension or parallel universe. According to conspiracy theorists, the extraordinarily otherworldly event, the alleged opening up of a Stargate portal in the Gulf of Aden, drew the attention of the world military powers, including the US, Russia, and China. The countries sent naval fleets to the area, top secret writers reported. So you have the US, Russia, and China sending their naval fleets to this area. Some conspiracy theory sources claim the highly classified information about the alleged Stargate portal was leaked through a documented published by WikiLeaks as a part of the global intelligence files. And you know how 100% real WikiLeaks used to be, especially during this time. The global intelligence files consisted of more than 5 million emails dated July 2004 to December 2011, attained from Texas-based Stratfor and an international private intelligence and security firm that consults for leading corruptions in world governments. A report on the files was allegedly submitted to President Vladimir Putin of Russia by Admiral Nikolai Maskimov, commander of the Russian Northern Fleet. Despite stories that the information was sourced from WikiLeaks global intelligence files, there was no evidence backing the claim, as there have been no original reports about a Stargate portal, in quotes, in the Gulf of Aden outside the well-known Russia-linked sources of online rumor. The conspiracy theorist argued that the reason why the report appeared only on alternative news sites was that Western governments had warned the Western mainstream media not to report it, according to the blog Mission Galactic Freedom. Several versions of the fanatic or fantastic tale have emerged online since 2012, but the different versions agree on some major points. That's pretty insane. According to Admiral Maskimov's report submitted to the President Putin late in the year 2000, U.S. personnel at the U.S. naval base in uh, Djibouti in the Horn of Africa noticed the formation of a mysterious vortex in the Gulf of Aden. According to the conspiracy theory blog, unexplained things are out there. The vortex was small and weak and remained stable at the time. However, in November 2008, scientists raised an alarm that the spiral vortex was expanding rapidly and threatening the world. The U.S. government panicked and sent a message to top military powers for assisting in fighting the threatening phenomenon. The top nations responded by sending naval forces with scientists, engineers, technicians to the Gulf of Aden. The nations that responded, including traditional allies of the U.S., such as Canada, Britain, and several EU countries. That's including Russia and China. U.S. traditional foes, such as Russia and China, also rushed their navies to the area. And as panicked world governments converged on the Gulf of Aden, the alleged vortex continued expanding rapidly, causing major earthquakes in the Gulf of Aden, the first in the area in modern times, according to conspiracy theorists. The first ever. Multiple reports in the conspiracy theorist blog sphere refer to the alleged vortex variously as an electromagnetic vortex, a mysterious magnetic vortex, spiral magnetic field or wormhole, a strange magnetic anomaly, a geomagnetic anomaly, an interdimensional anomaly, and an intergalactic stargate. The responding nations, according to conspiracy theorists, conceal the true purpose of their presence in the Gulf of Aden behind a false flag operation to protect global maritime interests from the threat posed by Somali pirates. So basically, it was a cover up of, of a Somali pirate, attack. And this also brings something to the table. We all think of these people like Russia and China and North Korea and blah, 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 blah as our enemies. But I believe that is only due to fear made up in this game that they've created. And I'm not talking about Russia and China and the US. I'm talking about like the Rothschilds, the Queen of England, the cabal have created this. Even we can talk aliens. We're talking, like a negative alien alliance that could just have power over this entire planet. Yet I think that good prevails over evil. And that is what's occurring now. That is the timeline we are on now. And I know that may sound insane, but this is going to be a conspiracy podcast live, right? Or live. So if you think about it that way, then every country is an ally, but we have to pretend, they have to pretend, the elite pretend because they are, controlled by who knows, a alien force or demons or whatever. The Rothschilds control this planet. So, the elites, we say who are, Vladimir Putin and Trump and the president of China and Kim Jong-un, these people and the Queen, I don't believe that these are the true elite. I think the real elites are something otherworldly, and they come here through these portals. And I believe that this whole game of that, we have allies and we have enemies. I don't believe that. I believe everyone's an ally when it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to a portal opening and sending, all of our naval fleets to this area, that is insane. So that's why I think that there definitely is a higher up cabal that they control the cabal, the ones that we are known to the public, like um, North Korea, which we found out to be a load of garbage, and people that Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, the Bushes. These people are the cabal, but people that control the Rothschilds, these are the ones that are calling the stakes, right? Calling the cards. So let's keep going. The sheeple, that's you and me, believe that warships have gone to the Gulf of Aden to fight piracy, but that's just a massive cover up. The English language Russian conspiracy theory website Pravda was one of the first to report the story, and soon a gaggle of conspiracy theory blogs and websites were elaborating on the story creatively. Different theories were proffered to explain what caused the Stargate phenomenon to open up in the Gulf of Aden. One theory claimed it was caused by the evil space aliens bent on world domination and destruction. Another theory claimed it was caused by CERN, Large Hadron Collider, LHC experiments. According to conspiracy theorists, the CERN LHC experiments spun out of control using Western governments to panic. The space alien theory and the CERN LHC theory were not mutually exclusive because conspiracy theorists believe that the CERN LHC experiments are being directed uh, clandestinely, I'm not sure what that word means, by evil alien races such as reptilians who control the shadow government, an alleged top secret coterie of maniacally evil, power hungry elite who control world affairs behind the scenes. Admiral Maskamov's report allegedly recommended to Putin that although the vortex was a Frankenstein monster creation of reptilian alien backed Western powers, it was in Russia's interest to join the forces with Americans to ward off an attack on our planet by malevolent reptilian extraterrestrial forces. Some theorists claim that the Stargate phenomenon was a black project under an overacting world domination plan by the secret shadow government that included genetic experiments conducted in underground facilities in collaboration with extraterrestrial races such as reptilians and the tall grays. So, what I've read is that the tall grays are actually AI and that they are basically created by the reptilians. The purpose of the evil Nazi style genetic experiments was to create a new human alien hybrid species that will replace humans when they go extinct as planned. So, yeah, that's that. That's the conspiracy that I wanted to show you, but I have more. Let's keep going, right? So, the Iran Gate. The horizontal grid at the planetary rod function, see horizontal triad bodies, are controlled. That is, this graphic represents is to better understand the horizontal structure that make up the mental bodies and control timelines of the consciousness in identities that are a part of the 12 tree grid in the universal time matrix. Oh my God. Are controlled by the dark forces of the NAA. So let's check out what NAA means. Um, yeah, so let's check out what the NAA means and the Alpha Draconis Orion Group. What is the NAA? Abbreviation for the Negative Alien Agenda. So let's keep going through the Golden Eagle Grid. What is that? Abbreviation GEG is the Golden Eagle Grid Planetary Grid Network, one of the Guardian Planetary Grid Networks defined for advanced HGS sessions work as Guardian of Horizontals. Session focus is horizontal channel openings, mental bodies working within the timeline. Reverse current architecture, which has its center controlled from Iraq, Iran, and the Giza, Egypt. The 10th gate in Iran-Iraq border is also the control center for the false Michael matrix. We must, with all of our heart and might, hold the white purity flame of God's eternal love for our masculine and that which frees the enslavement history of our family of Michael. A major piece of this pain was forced to be held by the group of consciousness known as the family of Michael, of which patriarchal domination and its electron reversal consciousness is used to perpetuate against humans the negative alien mind control and its bioneurological control technology. Archontic deception behavior such as enemy patterning, warmongering, domination for territory, genetic elitism, hierarchical discrimination, killing, and bloodlust through the false king of tyranny. False king of tyranny, the negative alien archons group or the NAA do not want to heal, thereby integrate into human society as an equal. They want to rule humans and earth as an absolute authority, which with an iron fist in the controller archetype of false king of tyranny, are a few of the mind control archetypes perpetuated on the preliminary male 3D conscious mind to continue the war on enslaving humans worldwide. Because, there are, I believe, 12 dimensions. We basically vibrate on a 3D conscious level because we are so held down. We are so behind because we are held down in fear. Fear isn't real. Fear is learned. You're not born with fear. So if you're vibrating on a 3D level, you can never grow in consciousness to a 4D, 5D, which is why we have the whole Q phenomenon, which is helping us get out of this 3D vibration, this low vibrational level where these things, these entities can come into this realm, i.e., ghosts, demons, whatever it may be. Aliens can come into this level and use our energy, which is fear. They'll take our fear and use it for energy. This is how they feed off of us. But if you can get to a 4D, 5D level, vibrational level, they cannot vibrate on that higher level because they are just that low toned. So, if that sounds insane to you, it's about to get even more insane. 3D conscious mind to continue the war on enslaving humans worldwide. When the alien predator mind. Hold on, somebody just messaged me and said that my computer is being tracked. Oh, God. Conscious mind to continue the war on enslaving humans worldwide. When the alien predator mind. The conceit of egotism describes a person who acts to gain value for self-serving motivation and taking in an excessive amount of resources than that which he or she gives back to others. Usually, these are actions of taking in others' energy, time, and resources. And its agenda is used for time mind control on humanity. It becomes a belief system, then a value system, or enforced via brainwashed violent religions. And the people that embody those archetypes become the perpetrator and enforcer for the negative alien alliance controller's agenda. The NAA invaded our planet in this area to maintain its warring control and militarization over the most important stargates in the Middle East in order to take control over the entire planet. This was accomplished as the infiltration into the holographic blueprint. Our reality is a consciousness hologram. Holograms are manifestations of the property of light, how light is produced and transmitted, and how it interacts with itself. The universe is a time matrix consciousness hologram. That is why I say that when we were talking earlier about 60% of the people won't be able to handle this, it's going to be more than that, I believe. I know Q brought it down, but I think the realization that reality isn't what it is going to affect a lot of people. So, infiltration of the holographic blueprint of the planetary logos architecture as the most effective way to create destruction of the human species through the continual creation of Holocaust and genocidal wars through false father. False father is a main victimizer archetype that is used to create pain and trauma in the child. When that child is totally dependent upon the adult person, when the abuse is suffered in the childhood, destructive attachments and negative bonds are formed within that child. Absolutely. God religions as a self-enforcement method of planetary enslavement. The broadcast mind control from out of the Iran Gate is especially targeted males to be influenced towards organizing the total militarization agenda of the planet through continual broadcasted transmissions of divide and conquer through war and genocide, monitored by the Dragon Moth. Dragon Moth or Omicron Draconians are one of the factions behind the Orion group, one of the intruder groups of the negative alien alliance that source from the Orion constellation. And you can look that up. That's a real thing. Dragon Moth sources from mainly around Alanitak, around the Orion's belt areas. The mind control transmission creates slaves, which makes those humans in the Middle East targeted for mind control to enforce the alien agenda and warfare strategy on the ground, with minimal effort on the use of externalized alien resources, thereby making alien, in quotes, invasions into the physical reality not necessary, as Earth humans self-enforce their own enslavement. Exactly. So they kind of stay on the outskirts of this 3D realm and feed off the energy, the negativity, the hatred, the fear, in layman's terms. So as the repeated cycles of historical conflict in Iran and Iraq, as well as thought form, infections spreading through the Middle East are primary examples of how the negative alien alliance mind control has manifested suffering, torture, and killing of the human race. So Ezekiel and the Armageddon software. Apparently, Ezekiel is a prophet and was from Jerusalem. Had another birth name and was the master teacher of Pythagoras. As the sacred Decad, the 9 division of magnum opus of alchemical law meet in Ophiuchus and are 3 times 3 plus the universal prime materia life force, which equals 10, the sacred decade of Pythagoras. The Hebrew tetragrammaton and 10 spheres of elimination of tree of life. Emanation in the tree of life. Sorry, I butchered that. Architecture is being revealed through the Ophiuchus transmission. The being known as Ezekiel required assistance to help him be freed from enslavement bonds. His original teachings have been vastly distorted for nefarious purposes. Guardian teams have been working in the Middle East, in the terrain of Iraq, Iran, and the 10th Stargate, and at the Tomb of Ezekiel. The Tomb of Ezekiel is a structure located today in southern Iraq and believed to be the final resting place of Ezekiel. It has been a place of pilgrimage for both Muslim and Jews alike. Ezekiel's higher monadic body has been trapped in the earth, unable to evolve. We viewed a collective chaotic field of human body parts, elementals, creatures, and monadic man contorted within the tetramorphic field. A tetramorph is a symbolic arrangement of 4 different elements, or the combination of 4 disparate elements in one unit. The term is derived from the Greek tetra, meaning 4, and morph. So hold on, just checking my phone one more time. Yeah, so let's keep going. Archaeological evidence exists showing that early man divided into 4 quarters. This entity has been in tremendous pain and suffering from the variety of impaling, crucifixion, and torture, and has undergone in a continuing war zone. The collective field is a human monadic man. What is a monadic? The spirit body of monad is the higher mind function of the observer. Right. So the conscious, it's basically creating its own, it's hurting basically the mind, body, and spirit of this prophet. It's sitting over it, hurting it. Watching and aware of forming concepts and making assessment. It is a higher mind principle consciousness that comes to neutral conclusions and decisions based on accumulated experiences. Man that became consubstantial was used by the senses and Gnostics to describe phase transitions in spiritual alchemy. For purposes of clarity and context, this term was used before the First Council of Nicaeans, adoption of the word, to elementals in the location of Iraq, Iran, and the 10th Stargate. The bodies are mismatched and enmeshed like in a war zone. It is used by the negative alien alliance forces. This body is a huge black and gray field that feeds and is impaled on the Golden Eagle grid network. This is a fallen elemental and false tetramorphic field structure where a man's body was mingled into corrupted elements. And this machinery has something to do with the military killing and manifestation of war zones in the males on the planet and transmitting mind control into the GEG fields that transmit to the planet. There is a network of Islamic alien machinery at the Ezekiel grave in the Middle East, and a very heavy infiltration of terrorism, jihad, and hatred attached as mind control. There are Hebrew tribes related to the fallen Melchizedek lineages with this creature that was once a human male. Tribes Manasseh, Joseph, and Benjamin have been highlighted. This is a piece of the station of identity of a man known as Ezekiel that has split off from his body and exists somewhere in the Mosaic timeline. The book of Ezekiel contained gruesome accounts of Gog and Magog. Recently, with the new November 2009 time cycle, planetary grid corrections have transpired with the opening of an ancient portal system in the England and Ireland area. The UK area is the 11th dimensional Stargate, and we're talking about the 10th. So this relates to the Armageddon software. The Armageddon software is mind control programs such as war, pestilence, and cataclysm fears, or many other fear programs which can be interchanged as they are similar biowarfare mind control programs used on the earth to suppress and control human consciousness. If this doesn't make sense to you, you need to come up on your consciousness, because this makes more sense to me than this makes more sense to me than the calls in the NFL, which is supposedly written rules. This is the craziest, most mind-blowing thing I've ever. This is about the third time I've read this in 2 years. I just wanted to share with you. This is my favorite conspiracy. This relates to Armageddon software heavily implanted in the majority of the population in the region. So we'll look at this real quick. Week 10 planet grid work, inner gate of Basra, Iraq, and its underground link up into Aden, Iran, for the period of Sunday, July 7th to Sunday, July 14th. This area of the planet is the main location point of planetary invasion 5,500 years ago that gave the foothold of the hierarchical reptilian negative alien races to wreak their enslavement agenda upon the inhabitants of this earth. The hijack of the horizontal grid network of the Golden Eagle grid, which again is the planetary grid network, one of the Guardian planetary grid networks defined for the advanced HGS session work as Guardians of the Horizontal sessions. Focus is horizontal channel openings, mental bodies working within the timeline, and Phoenix Grid. Phoenix Grid was created in 10,000 BC in the time wall by the Pleiadian, Nuberian, Anunnaki. It was anchored into Earth, the NDC, and the NET through Stargate 4 Giza, Egypt, and links to the Phantom Nibiru. Were taken over to create a global brain hemisphere, splitting the stage. The takeover of the global brain has led to mind control programming of the people of Earth. So basically we had good aliens here, the Pleiadians and the Anunnaki, and they were taken over, hijacked rather, by the reptilian negative alien races, if you were confused right there. So these races divided into two major agendas: the Luciferian Anunnaki, a hive mind hierarchical reptilian mentality, and the satanic Black Suns, a materialistic individual race of misogynistic warmongers. Both groups of intruders subscribe to patriarchal domination, the false king of tyranny, through at least elitist mind control agendas such as the Illuminati that employ military warfare and technology strategies to program, enslave, and torture the inhabitants on the earth. These beings through the imposter spirits. Imposter spirits would be, an imposter is defined as an entity or human being that is saying words or expressions or making representations that is not embody or nor comprehend nor behave or act in coordinates with. So basically, people of the Illuminati, people like the Queen, people that want to see people starve. They're basically sadists. Have stolen the consciousness field technology and its memories through reversal code architecture programs to create the anti-life or death programs on Earth, because they feed off of it, right? To bind the planetary soul, human collective, to serve their satanic and Luciferian agendas of current time and future time planet enslavement. This created the recycling of humans after death on an astral plane. So basically what happens, This is all part of the conspiracy, that when you die, if you still fear death, if you still fear anything, because fear isn't real, they have a grasp on you once you die on the astral plane before you get to heaven. That whole this isn't my saying. This is basically what I've read. That the whole purgatory, that is where the astral plane is. That is the false ascension matrix. This is where they can grab you, and then keep feeding off of you, send you back down to this 3D plane, which is Earth. Timelines and histories of the military invasion to the landmass of Iraq, Iran, former Mesopotamia, Babylonia, Sumeria, and Persia, and their archetypes, negative alien invasion, sacrificial and blood ritual to demonic and satanic entities on Earth. Can we think about, what is it called? Spirit cooking. That's a real thing. Can we talk about Space Force? Why do you think Trump keeps reiterating on this? Because it's real. This is real. This was in the WikiLeaks. Just let's keep going, because this is no longer a conspiracy theory in my mind. I believe that this is actual truth that has been leaked to the public. So let's keep going. I hope you really find this interesting. I can't see any of your comments. I'm gonna have to see them when I get off, and then we'll figure out how to do this better next time, because there's plenty more conspiracies where this came from. So let's look. Okay, so sacrificial and blood rituals to demonic and satanic entities on Earth. Black Sun programs. Let's check what this is. A negative alien agenda, NAA, is to force the planet to serve under another multiple species controller agenda through imposing false replicated time fields using biowarfare technology such as holographic inserts, AI, and mind control, namely created under genetically remodified tests. So, for the Nazi related theories of eugenics, right, genocide and survival of the strongest and fittest. This is the point that the human history was rewritten by alien victors of war, and the current false history was given to humans up to the Sumerian records of 5,500 years ago. All previous historical records or monuments with significant data were destroyed or confiscated from the human race. If you try and find anything on the Gnostics, it's absolutely destroyed. It's gone. There's very little out there. If you look into Graham Hancock, he touches on some of this. Please Google Graham Hancock and look into the Sumerian records and Anunnaki stuff too. It is all there. All previous historical records or monuments with significant data were destroyed and confiscated from the human race because they do not want us to think that there was actually, what we should be following is the teachings of Gnostics, because it's basically it predates Christianity. But this is what Christianity was based off of, was the Gnostic belief, which is just pure love. And with that, you can't go wrong. It just basically just, um, preaches love and kindness, and, love wins over all, right? So, all knowledge bearers were killed in order to isolate the written records of the history, which were edited and falsified by the NAA, which they basically, this is not my speaking, but this is just from my research, is that if you look into why Catholicism, if you look into religion, there's a lot of it that is very fear-based, because they want you to live in fear. That's what they want, because they feed off of it. And if you look into a lot of things like the cross, everything's inverted, is because everything is mirror image all the time. You have to look into this stuff. Why do you think you see these people like the Pope and, all these, cabal members who are eating kids and are pedivores and all this kind of stuff? Look at the Queen. She talks about people as humans. She doesn't talk to us like as people. She refers to us as humans, because she herself is not one. So that's what these people do. They eat kids. It's all real. We all know about this through the whole WikiLeaks drop when you were talking about sacrificing, and you can look into Marina Abramovic too. This was accomplished in hidden alien invasion without outward signs of extraterrestrial and extra-dimensional involvement in the evolution and the affairs of the human race. The Illuminati ideology was brought in through the financial ruling classes, to which their bloodlines began alienating or alien genetic manipulation is satanic. began alien genetic manipulation and satanic possession in order to recover and retain consciousness, esoteric and Stargate technologies of Earth. So basically, what he's saying, this person is saying, is that the elites are definitely not human. Why do you think when you look into people like the lead singer Billy Corgan, you can look into Britney Spears, who said that she's seen Prince Henry or Prince William, one of the two, turn to a reptilian, a shapeshifter. There's many accounts of this stuff because these people are not who they say they are, and then they blackmail them, just like making them sound like they're insane. You know, why do you think Britney Spears shaved her head off, shaved her hair off? It's not because she had a mental breakdown. It's because they MK Ultra'd her to doing that to make her look crazy because of what she saw. The Illuminati ideology was brought through the financial ruling classes, to which their bloodlines always notice that the elite always talk about bloodlines, especially in the UK. Began alien genetic manipulation and satanic possession in order to recover and retain consciousness, esoteric and Stargate technologies of the earth. These were called the essences, or the, let's see what this is, the Order of Christ Templars. The real Templars were of the Order of Christ, derived from Gnostic, Essene, and Cathar lines, and they sacrificed themselves to protect the wisdom, knowledge, and frequency of Sophia on this earth for the ascension cycle. Ascension is very real. We're just on this 3D level right now. Some of us are. I think most people, like, you follow me and a lot of other people, I believe if you're in this whole niche, you're definitely a risen from 3D. You just have to meditate on it, right? They were humans and that they had knowledge of the planetary forces and planetary stargates Templar. This area represents the biblical fall of man from the Garden of Eden, and the stories, holograms, and archetypes are related to this area and timeline of invasion. And folks, that is it. That is my favorite conspiracy because there is a lot of proof in the pudding, if I do say so myself. Like I said before, this was definitely in WikiLeaks. You can look it up, and we all know that Julian Assange is a patriot, and anything that he was probably connected to was definitely um, focused on truth and getting out the truth to awaken us, correct? Um, So that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I really hope, I felt like I was doing a radio, like doing radio. It was weird. Kind of cool though. Um, but yeah, I will let you guys go because I know it's late, 10:10. So I'm gonna live stream in the morning. I'll wait till you guys get home from church. I'll do it in the afternoon so that we can all give me the ups and downs of this. Tell me what you think about this. If you've never heard about this, tell me what you think. The description of this is down below if you want to check it out. And that's it for me, guys. I think I'm going to go to bed. But this was kind of fun for me. I'm not going to lie. This was really cool. Usually I'm just on the queue and the news going on. Sometimes I'll dabble in some stuff. But, this is my, I really flow with stuff like this. I love it. Um, anyways, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel and please share and give me a thumbs up. This was definitely out there. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it. It was, there's a lot of truth in it, but we're in good hands. We're awakening as one. Where we go one, we go all, right? So I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you all have a great night and be safe out there. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Ah.